Welcome back to the Rhode Show this morning in the Buzz. An air traffic controller from Kennedy Airport and his supervisor are both on suspension after the FAA says he twice allowed his children to do his job. Controller Glenn Duffy first let his young son man the controls, and then just a day later, another child. The incidents took place last month during a school break, and officials say this is a lapse in judgment that not only went against federal policies, but just also made no common sense. Take a listen to some of the tapes.
JetBlue 171, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, JetBlue 171.
744.
Okay.
Contact.
Departure.
744,
good night. This is what you get, guys, when the kids are out of school. I can bring my kid to work.
AMAX 403, contact departure, adios.
Contact departure, Idle Mexico 403, adios.
All right, so many people are saying, you know, maybe this was an innocent visit but because of the visit, the FAA has suspended all unofficial visits to its air traffic control areas across the country while this investigation is ongoing. So what do you guys think?
That last one almost sounded like she said 403 or 423.
So it could have been unclear?
Yeah. I mean, who the heck knows? Just the way it came out unclear. I brought my little godson here during our anniversary show.
Yeah, and I was really concerned about him being at the helm. When he started producing our D block, I was like, everybody hold on, buckle in.
I think it's great that they bring their kids and they want to show them what they do, but like, for instance, when I brought my godson here, he sat in the back and kind of watched, and we got him waving on camera, but he wasn't operating the cameras and pulling the mics and calling
maybe
the shots.
Maybe he is. He's doing your shot.
That's what it would look like.
But, you know, even talking about that, it's apples and oranges. We're talking about major airliners here with hundreds of people in here.
With lives at risk.
I mean, what in the world are you thinking? And not only are the air traffic controllers and their fathers laughing, but the pilots are getting a kick out of this. And it's like, what in the world is going through your mind?
Here's what I think a lot of people are going to say. I think a lot of people are going to say, you know, in any job, you start to see it as, you know, just a run-of-the-mill job, and you can do it well, and you can do it easily.
You can do it in your sleep.
You can do it in your sleep, and our kids are coming in to visit, and so, you know, just like, you know, a police officer might have his, my dad did let me do a radio check. Of course, we weren't controlling anything. There wasn't an emergency going on, but I can see how some people might view this as, listen, they brought their kids into work, everybody brings their kids into work, and that sort of thing. The thing that bothers me is, why is it that now the FAA is suspending, all unofficial visits? Why are there unofficial why are kids allowed in the cockpit? Why are non-official personnel allowed in the cockpit? And if you delineate that to your staff and you say, listen, this is a serious job. No one is allowed in this tower who could distract, who could pester, annoy, harass.
You know what's funny? As a credentialed media press person, I can't get in there.
So true. So true.
I can't get in there.
Yeah, even with a state police background check.
I can't get in there. But a 5-year-old whose father works there can get there and get on the radio. Now, if there's not something wrong with that, and I don't know what it is.
And how many times do you see on the news, I mean, it seems like a few times a year, there was a near miss on the runway, planes were crossing each other, and these are professionals that do it for a living that are sometimes having trouble with that.
And I'm sure these guys are now sitting back at home saying, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what was I
wasn't thinking and this and that. Yeah. And I don't know what should happen to them. I'm not saying they should lose their jobs or whatever. I'm just saying, man, what in the world are you thinking?
Yep.
You know, Courtney, I want to bring you into this because I think a lot of people are going to recognize that there was nothing malicious necessarily behind this, that it was, I think the technical word is brain fart.
Right, judgment, brain fart, same thing, right? That's basically what they're saying, but I will tell you, it scares me to think about something like this. As a person who flies to travel, you know, you're worried, does the pilot have enough sleep? Is everybody on their game? And you're definitely not thinking, is a kid calling the shots, you know, having a little help from his dad there, but it's where I stand. Let's see where some of the bloggers stand on FoxProvidence.com. This one is from TD E-Rock. It says, personally, I think this is getting blown a little out of proportion. The child was supervised. You can hear the adult talking over his shoulder in one of the sound bites released. And this one's from our own Michelle Muscatello, and she says, I'm sure the people in the air traffic control were carefully monitoring the kids, but come on, people's lives are in their hands. In my opinion, there's no room for joking around in air traffic control. That's so true. And this one's from Lisa, and she said, not smart. smart on his part. We have a poll here on our homepage as well. Was passenger safety compromised by having a child air traffic controller? A, yes, passenger safety is critical. B, no, the kid was supervised. We also have that story with a little more snippets from what happened while they were working there. Here's a snapshot of Facebook. We've got about 10 comments so far, and Newland Bonsu says, well, a person should never let their child do their job, especially since other people's lives are at stake with this one. And Aaron Scorpio says, I don't think it was a safety issue necessarily, but it was a dumb move, that's for sure. They're supposed to be professional, and being cute or not, it shouldn't be allowed. And one more from Gene Sadler, said the child should have never been allowed to direct the pilots, period. So that's where our viewers stand. If you want to weigh in at home, you still got about a half hour till I reveal the poll results, but for now we'll head back into the kitchen. Vince,